Weight loss. It needs to be fast and sustainable. Noom GLP-1 starts at just $149 and ships to your door in 7 days. Take it from Marcos, who's loving his journey with Noom GLP-1.
I'm getting to where I want to be. I'm in such a good place right now, and I'm very confident that I'm going to be able to continue this weight loss, this journey, and really make a true lifestyle change.
Don't believe it? Take it from Cam, who's gaining more confidence with Noom GLP-1.
I really am starting to feel better. Like, I feel a lot lighter. I feel a lot happier. I feel a lot more confident. I just feel a lot more like myself. I don't feel so bogged down every day.
$149 GLP-1s? Now that's Noom Smart. Noom, the smart way to lose weight. Get started with Noom GLP-1 at Noom.com. That's Noom.com. Real Noom users compensated to provide their story. Individual results may vary. Not all customers will medically qualify for prescription medications. Compounded medications are not reviewed by the FDA for safety, efficacy, or quality.
Look, I think it's the IRS enforces it, right? The IRS enforces the flag thing, and it's a tax. So it's not a penalty if you're flying the U.S. flag. It's
okay.
A tax. You see what I'm saying?
No, I appreciate that. I'll tell you, that was the most relaxing 3-minute break that we've ever taken. I appreciate you really chiming in on that.
You're welcome.
347-205-9399. Hey, real quick, we have a couple of appearances coming up here on the Sackheads Radio Show. That's right, I said appearances.
I would say feature, but that's okay. I could say featured.
Saturday night, we're going to call into Outcry Radio and Rooster Show from the California Republican Convention. Oh, funny. We're going to be at the California Republican Convention all weekend.
We are.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday down there in San Francisco. So if you are attending, we do have a booth. Come by the Sackheads booth, and maybe we'll give you a shot or something. Not like a bullet. I mean, a gun.
No.
But it'll be fun. We'll
have a bottle.
We'll be
the only media or group there handing out shots of alcohol.
Yeah, that too. We're going to be in the foyer outside the Grand Ballroom. Rance Priebus is speaking. Ambassador Condoleezza Rice, not Ambassador. I knew I was going to do that at some point. Condoleezza Rice is speaking. I can't wait to hear. That'll be a lot of fun. And a whole bunch of other politicians, and it'll be a lot of fun. We're really looking forward to it. Hope to get some good interviews and hear some interesting things.
Excellent. I do want to plug our good friends, POF, Patriot Ordnance Factory, POF USA. So it's www.pof-usa.com. Outstanding rifles. They just make such a great product. M4 platforms, 308 and 223, just tremendous firearms. But they have a Patriot series out, and we have some prints that autographed, no big deal, up in our studio of their Patriot series. That we have the Minuteman, which is a Patriot tricorn hat, and he's in front of the flag with the 13 stars in the circle, and he's carrying a POF in place of a musket. So it's great. But there's a new one out, and it's a Molly Pitcher. So it's Molly, so it's a female Patriot with the POF rifle, and they actually have it in shirts. Pretty cool. So just go to their website, check it out. They have some great gear. They're going to be coming out with Tomahawk very, very, very soon. Great products. Love them. Good friends of ours. So
one of my favorite. I think one of my favorite prints, and they have a couple really awesome prints, but one of my favorite is the Patriot riding the horse.
So the Paul Revere.
Yeah, you could say Paul Revere, calling to arms. And actually, you know what? I'm going to tweet that out because it was pretty awesome. The website's pofusa.com, and if you follow us on Twitter, I'll get it out in a minute or two.
Wait, what are you tweeting out? The
picture.
One or Molly?
Or
the horseman?
You tell me what
are
you want.
Are you tweeting the one you like and just discounting my feelings again?
Listen, sweetheart.
Why don't you tweet out, hey, doll, listen. Hey. Sugar, just why don't you tweet out the horseman and then the Molly as well?
Okay.
Since we just plugged it.
How about this?
We didn't plug Molly because that's what we. So
what? Just
tweet them both.
All right, fine. Why do you have to be mean to me all the time?
How am I mean to you?
Well, if you're going to control the entire conversation.
Call me Putin. You're Crimea.
I will do my best to make sure that I am absolutely living up to your expectations and that I don't dare fall apart.
I appreciate that.
Red, white, and blue. That's a joke, son. A flag waver.
I make no promises on our next guest. Rooster from Conservative Outcry.net and Outcry Radio Saturday nights here on the Blog Talk Radio Network. How are you, sir?
You know, I'm actually going to bring some political news to this conversation tonight, but
okay.
I do want to thank you all in advance for appearing on Saturday. We have a job. Kel didn't know, by the way.
She didn't?
No, she had no idea. We don't do pre-show.
She must not follow us on. Oh, I thought she just didn't follow us on Twitter.
I don't think Kel tweets. She might Twitter, but she doesn't tweet.
All right, that's fine.
Now here's the deal for Saturday night, because not only it's going to be more like a celebrity extravaganza, because joining you will be the infamous Andrea Kaye.
Love Andrea Kaye.
Love it.
And we are going to try our damnedest to get Andrea Kaye to curse out loud for all to hear.
Why would you do that to her?
Because she needs
Why?
to. I listen to her on air, and you know she wants to.
Anyone who doesn't check out Andrea Kaye, she's on down in San Diego. She's a great conservative to listen to. She's a lot of fun. And a good friend of our show.
Is it wrong,
hey guys.
Rooster, hang on. I pictured you just then when you said she wants to. I pictured you in like Coke bottom glasses and just like drooling in a corner. You know she wanted to. I can just tell by looking. You know she.
No, I've almost got her to do it on air, but I haven't yet. I've tried my damnedest.
Well, she
either do a tweet. I've sent her tweets and made her bust out laughing on the air already.
Well, and you know as well as I do, she is a very good old conservative Southern woman, and she doesn't like to curse. She doesn't like to curse, and she's a doll. Please,
I know, but
nobody.
If she were to do it, it would remove all the stress. Just one curse word out loud.
You realize you sound like a dope dealer right now, right?
I know I do, but once she does it once, she won't be able to stop, and then she'll have to come on BTR because they'll kick her off the air. Hey, listen, guys, I got something in the mail. Now, this isn't really new news, but as you know, I'm a veteran.
Yes.
And I got something in the mail just recently, and the timing of it, it doesn't necessarily surprise me, but did you know that even though retired from the service, and I don't have a service-related injury, that I am eligible for veterans' health benefits?
Wait, if you didn't retire and you're not a disabled vet, no, I was not aware of that, actually. I figured you would have to be one or the other.
Actually, I wasn't aware of it either until I got this little packet in the mail that says that apparently I can. Now, it's not open to my family, but it is open to me as long as I'm willing to pay, up to $15 per outpatient visit with my primary care physician, or $50 for a specialist, which it really isn't much different than what I have now. But the funny thing is that I can use this and I can sign up for this even though I currently have insurance.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, so that would just be...
What I'm wondering is if this goes towards the Obamacare numbers that they're desperately trying to get, and if that's the reason I got this in the mail right now. Well,
yeah, no, they're 30, 40% short of their goal right now, and they're doing a major push. But listen, you would not be. That's almost though like Medicaid. Medicaid is. You would. I don't know if you would fall under the umbrella of Obamacare, because I don't think
if they wanted to count it because it's a government health care system, why couldn't they say that? I see where he's going with that. I would throw the yellow flag and call BS, but if that's how they're getting their numbers, they count the Medicaid numbers, right?
Yeah, that's true.
It would make sense that they count people that are moving into the VA also.
Well, I mean, the pamphlet is labeled the Affordable Care Act for veterans who need health care coverage. But then if you read through it, it says that I can actually get this even though I currently have health care coverage. It just surprises me. But actually, what's available to vets is pretty good insurance. I don't have that big $5,000 deductible that everybody else gets. God bless the people because veterans deserve it. But I'm not a deserving veteran for this program. You know what I mean?
Well, and I've said this on the show 1,000 times. So those folks who signed up and went, and even if you're not a quote-unquote veteran, as you just said, you're not a deserving veteran, I am okay with any person that enlisted and took that chance of maybe having to go to war and protect this nation. I'm almost okay with a program like that. Clint? I think that falls under the you earned it. You took that chance. That opportunity was there that you could have never come home, and you did it for your nation. We're not drafting you. You volunteered your service to our nation.
Look, I have the utmost respect for those that have served our nation in a variety of ways. The military, we've talked about it several times on the show, military, law enforcement, fire, emergency medical responders. I have a tremendous respect for all of them. And, look, if somebody does 20 years in the military and retires out, I have absolutely zero problem taking care of them for the rest of their lives. I have zero problem taking care of veterans who are injured and taking care of those injuries for the rest of their lives, as well as providing any retraining or anything else that may need to go into some of those individuals. But if somebody serves 4 years, let's say, and Rooster, I'm not saying that's the case with you. I'm just throwing it out there. If somebody serves 4
mine
years,
was
8 years, even. Okay.
Yeah, I was 8.
And look, I have a great amount of respect for anybody that serves in the first place, and somebody then who re-ups and serves another 4. Again, I have a tremendous amount of respect for that service. And while I'm okay with say a percentage, I'm not necessarily okay with lifetime medical. Again, absent any kind of injury or something that requires that was obtained in the service of their country. But just somebody, let's say they served and they did 4, 8, whatever it is, and they got out and they're on to another career. Look, I have no problem taking a certain percentage of pay for that 8 year of service as some form of small pension. But in terms of full medical benefits for somebody that did 1 or maybe even 2 tours, I don't know that I'm necessarily okay with that. That's not because I disrespect their service, but because we don't have the money to pay for that with everybody else that's on Obamacare. And the VA has a lot of issues. They do. They have problems taking care of people that put in 20 and earned those benefits. So, and I liken it to, look, there's some good retirement programs for public safety in California. We've looked into it before, and they have a good retirement program there for them, a good pension program. And if somebody does.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
What you're hearing is Hardie Fiber Cement Siding living up to its reputation as the siding that helps resist weather damage, no matter what Mother Nature throws its way. James Hardie knows how important a reputation is, especially when you're a home builder. That's why Hardie products withstand the elements better than wood-based siding, with styles to match their strength. Because when home builders work with us, we deliver our best so they can look their best. Protect your reputation with exterior products by James Hardie.
Same thing, 10, 12 years of service in that line of work, they shouldn't get a pension that covers them, for the rest of their life at whatever it is for their pay forever. But if they put in a full 20 or 30 years, I'm okay with a full service retirement, I'm okay with them getting those benefits, because look, that job is hard, mentally and physically. Fire, law enforcement, military, they are demanding fields. It is a warrior field, and that it takes its toll psychologically. It takes its toll physically. So again, I think I'm okay with a percentage, but as far as full coverage, for that I have issue. It's unsustainable. We can't afford it for either case.
Yeah, but here's my point. I've been out of the service since 1991. I have never, ever received anything like this in the mail from the Veterans Administration. And don't get me wrong, I get other benefits from the Veterans Administration. I get home loans that you can't get. Right. I get a free grave. I get looked at with a different eye when it comes to employment, especially in the government. But I also my household income is greater than the average mean income in the United States, and certainly greater than what it is here where I live. And we have insurance. We've had insurance for years. So why are they dangling this in front of me now, saying, hey, you're eligible for this, why don't you come get it, when they don't have the money to support it?
Because I think you know the answer to that, right? They're trying to get even more people. Yeah, they're trying to get more people on the dole. Now they can get the benefits of veterans, people who have served, which, let's face it, there's a large conservative swath in that group that now, well, hey, under this, I get free lifetime, I get lifetime medical, or I get whatever it is. It's a more incentive to look at, well, the Republicans want to take that away. It's a vote getter, right? It's putting more people on the dole. It's attempting to, and it might be successful to a certain extent, expand that base. Or if you believe the more insidious theories of getting people on these programs in order to overload and collapse the system, a la Cloward and Piven, and have a new framework in place to erect a new system and with how you want it to run, a la single payer. So either one of those theories, though, is not good.
And here's the deal with it. Even if I choose not to do it, they still want my personal information and how much I make and all this. They sent me some forms that I'm supposed to fill out and send back to them, although I can't find anything that says I have to, though it is implied. But again, I've been out since 1991, and I've never seen anything like this come in the mail. Never.
Well, it's that time, and we're coming into 2016 is not far away, and they have to rally the base. It's almost shameful at this point, and the only reason they're sending it is because they have your info, and they're trying to do everything they can to reach out to everyone. And listen, 40% short of their goal, or whatever it was, 35% short of their goal, right, is a huge number. I don't know on that particular program where that number funnels to. I'll agree that my guess is probably under the umbrella of Obamacare and not so much Medicaid.
Well, it's labeled. He just said the pamphlet was labeled American Affordable Care Act.
Okay,
that tells you right there that they're counting it as Obamacare.
I missed that, and I apologize. So yeah, that tells you where that's going. And I mean, there's a whole bunch of people that have been in the military that don't necessarily qualify for VA rights. That did their 4 years or whatever they're in when there wasn't a conflict, et cetera, that I'm sure they're trying to loop back into the event. All of them are going to be older, obviously, because we've been in a conflict now for over 10 years. But, right, they're trying to reach that base. And I'm sure if you run numbers somewhere, somehow, it's trying to fill a void they're trying to meet. That age group, that maybe that financial bracket will be trying to fill a void they're trying to meet. It's done with purpose. It's not just done because you know as well as I do it. I think go ahead. That's all right. I think you know as well as I do. If you ask any vet out there, if you want something from the VA, you got to look, find it, and get it. I mean, it's not as easy as it should be on veterans that deserve the services they get. They deserve better. And a lot of times you have to go out there and beg, borrow, and steal as a veteran to get the services that you have the rights to. So for them to just be advertising, if you will, and coming right out like this, it shows you that there's definitely a reason and there's definitely a cause.
Yeah, I'm reading straight from the pamphlet now. if enrolled in VA, you would enjoy medical care rated among the best in the United States, which isn't exactly true. Immediate benefits of health care coverage, no enrollment fee, monthly premiums, or deductibles. However, and this is based on, and I actually was on there tonight looking at it, it's based on your income level. So if I'm a veteran only in my area, I think the income's like $50,000. If I make less than that, I get all that for free. But if I make more than that, I can still sign up so long as I'm willing to pay certain expenses. And I told you some of them. It's like $9 for drugs, $15 for your primary care physician. And then it's for the first 90 days of inpatient care, I have to pay the first $1,000. That's not bad insurance.
No, it's not.
Better than anything on the Obamacare website, and quite frankly, it's close to what I have now. So you'd be stupid not to take it.
And I wonder why that particular package isn't on the Obama website. Like, why on the website is there not a prior military service button? Are you not a vet but prior military service? Click here. Like, why wouldn't that be more regularly advertised?
I don't know. I guess they want to do it through the mail.
Think about how expensive that is, though, how much more money that's going to cost. You would think if you're trying to do the right thing for the right reason and reach out to folks who have that right to that health care under that specific catalog, that specific class, then that would be all over the place, right? I mean,
especially
veteran outreach is huge.
Especially from a government that just voted to cut veterans' benefits.
Yeah, enormously. Listen, I wish I could tell you what the rhyme or reason, but I think everyone here listening knows it's to fill a void under the guise of taking care of prior service folks. It's Obamacare. It is what it is, which is why we need to change it and repeal it and go down that road. And just the fact, I mean, you got to figure, Rooster, I don't know how many millions of people in this country are in that same situation as you that are getting these right now, but you start throwing stamps on all that and sending it out, and you wonder why the post office is going broke. Maybe that's it. Maybe they're just trying to help the post office out by sending all these letters out and give them some work. But, you could have just done this on the website for free.
Yeah, I got to tell you, though, that I'm thinking about enrolling, not necessarily because I need it, more from an investigative journalist standpoint.
Yeah, see where it goes.
Yeah, I want to see where it goes. So I'll give you a heads up. We're probably going to talk about this on Saturday night. But with that, I'm going to let you go. But tell me, Sean, surprised the shit out of you, didn't I? No boobies or talk of women or.
No. Seriously, it was creepy enough the way you were trying to get Andrea to swear. So I think that crossed it.
Okay.
I'm just kidding with you. Rooster from ConservativeOutcry.net and Outcry Radio here on Saturday nights at 11 o'clock in the East, 8 in the Pacific on Blog Talk Radio. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. We wish you well as always.
Thanks, Rooster. Guys. Have a good night.
You too. So we all know they're reaching on this Obamacare thing. We talked about it last week about Slack-jawed Joe throwing out a number that and being so nonchalant. We're just a little damn short of it. And now there's this big push. And as I'm hoping to talk about after the break, there's been kind of a big referendum on Democrats and Obamacare just recently out of Florida. And I think that's kind of telling on what they know the country is viewing Obamacare and the politics that it's created or the lack thereof. Because it's not really politics anymore. It's kind of turning one-sided in a lot of places. So we're going to talk about that after the break. I want to talk about
Obama's meeting with the Russian huge prime minister also.
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Or can't talk tonight with the Ukraine prime minister.
I want to talk about. Did you see the Funny or Die video with Obama?
The what?
It's called Funny or Die. It's a website.
No, I wouldn't go to anything like that in reference to the President of the United States. For any NSA folks listening, that was Sackhead Sean.
I was trying to test you. You have passed.
Dude, you nailed it. Thank you.
It's essentially Zach Galifianakis interviewed him, and he kind of played like, hey, I'm interviewing the president, and then the president was like, oh, did you hear about Obamacare? And he's like, oh, you going to bring this up? All right, what do you hit a pitch? But it's a 6-minute ad for Obamacare, essentially, and it's a positive ad because the president wouldn't do it if it wasn't. And it was kind of hokey and off the cuff, and Zach Galifianakis, who's a funny guy, was funny. The president, up until the Obamacare, and even afterwards, was semi-humorous. I mean, he's a flat guy. He doesn't say anything excited ever. So, but I just thought, and somebody said
you
this
mean
the
flat
other day.
in a racist way?
No.
I didn't know the president's black. I have to ask just to make sure that we're covering our bases.
Where's Ken? I got to know if that was racist or funny.
That's a segment we need to
bring back.
We haven't
done that
in a while.
a long time. But it brought up the question is, do things like this make the presidential office look bad? And is that one of those things that...
Yes. That was a good segment. I apologize.
Well, then, that's good enough. Hey, why don't we go into a break?
Because I have one question for our folks to think about here, racist or funny. I have one.
Okay.
So I was down in the central part of California talking to some farmers via the drought. The president was in that region about the drought. He looked at the dry ground and said, yep, they need water, and then got back on the aircraft and flew away. So thank you.
$2 million for that.
That was awesome. So, but so one of the farmers I talked to, completely unintentionally, I believe it, but I laughed. He said, I was so far away, the president just looked way over there. It just looked like a little black dot. Racist or funny?
That's funny. I don't care what anyone says. That's funny. 347-205-9399. Share your thoughts with us if you want. We'll be back at 3 here on the Sackheads Radio Show.